collapsed in a torrential downpour. The investigation found that I had cut corners, that I had replaced golden thread Namu with inferior timber. Overnight, I went from the nation's master craftsman to a national disgrace. Everyone cursed me for being blinded by greed, for destroying a national treasure. Before I began my 6-year sentence, an enraged elderly professor rushed at me, slashing wildly at my face with his carving knife. He shouted, "I'll kill you, you disgrace." That was a century-old pagoda, a treasure left to us by our ancestors. How could you? How could you? I did not dodge, because I knew explanations were useless. Every piece of evidence pointed to me. Even Chen, the junior I trusted most, stepped forward to condemn me in anguish. "Senior brother, I never thought you'd do such a thing. I warned you again and again. Cultural relic restoration allows no carelessness. But in the end, greed clouded your judgment. And my wife, Ruxue, never spoke a single word in my defense. She only watched coldly as they took me away. While I was in prison, she brought divorce papers and a transfer agreement, quickly cutting all ties with me. She took over my failing studio, and overnight became the president of Shanghua Group. At last, my sentence was over. The day one was released. A Rolls-Royce stood outside the prison gates. Beside it stood my ex-wife, Ruxue. I was wrong. I left you shares in the company. Come home with me. I did not stop. I walked straight past her. The sun was merciless. The air reeked of pulverized concrete dust. I gripped a sledgehammer, sweat streaming from my brow into my eyes. They stung and burned. A black Rolls-Royce pulled up at the construction site entrance. The door opened, and Ruxue stepped out. She looked at me, her beautiful brows drawn tightly together. Shock filled her eyes. "Lin Yan, what are you doing here? Why are you doing this work?" I ignored her. Turning, I called to the foreman, old Zhang. "The owner is here. Once the money clears, we start work." The foreman scurried over obsequiously, but Ruxue's commanding presence made him a little uneasy. "Ma'am, about the demolition payment." Ruxue never took her eyes off me. She came toward me step by step. "Lin Yan, why would you not come find me? Do you know how long I've searched for you?" President Liu. Her male assistant hurried after her, respectfully handing her a document. "Mr. Gu's design plans," he said. "This site will become the city's most upscale commercial center. He asks that you review them personally." Chen again. The hatred in my heart was like grass set ablaze, spreading wildly. I ripped off the rag mask shielding my face from dust. In the sunlight, the scar running from my left eye to the corner of my mouth was like an ugly centipede, coiled across half my face. Ruxue's pupils abruptly narrowed. She instinctively stepped back half a pace. A flash of fear crossed her face. "Why your face? Does it look good?" "Thanks to you and Chen. I've seen it in my wash basin every day for 6 years. Every moment, it reminds me what a pathetic creature I am." I advanced on her step by step. The heavy stench of sweat and dust on me made her wrinkle her nose in discomfort. "President Liu is so busy. Yet you came personally to inspect a construction site. You must be exhausted. Did you come to see whether your ex-husband, was dead for good, or to flaunt your success with Chen?" "I didn't." Ruxue's face went pale. Her lips trembled, but she could not form a complete sentence. I spat out a mouthful of bloody saliva and pointed at the ruins behind her. "The demolition fee for this site is 2 million. Once the money clears, I'll have it leveled immediately. But if it does not, tell Chen to bring a little hammer and chip away at it himself." "Lin Yan, have to speak to me like this. I admit I wronged you back then. But you cannot degrade yourself like this. Come back with me. I'll give you money. I'll arrange the best job for you. You can do whatever you want." It was as if I had heard the funniest joke in the world. I burst out laughing. My chest heaved, pulling at my old wounds, sending waves of pain through me. "Ruxue, what makes you think I still need your charity? Because you watch me be framed? Or because you took my Lin family's enterprise to pave the way for your new lover?" "Get lost." Ruxue's body swayed. Her face was white as paper. Her assistant hurriedly caught her. "President Liu, are you all right? Maybe we should go back first." Ruxue stared at me fiercely. The emotions in her eyes were too tangled for me to understand. There was regret and pain, and unwillingness. But what did any of it have to do with me? "Lin Yan." She took a deep breath, as if reaching a decision. "I will not demolish the site." I frowned. "What do you mean? This property belongs to my Shanghua Group. She resumed that lofty executive demeanor, her chin slightly raised. I have decided to reclaim the development rights. Your demolition contract is void. The moment Foreman Zhang heard that, his face turned green. President Liu, you cannot do this. We signed a contract. There are dozens of us brothers, counting on this job to feed our families. Liu Ruxue did not even look at him. She only stared at me. Lin Yan, come with me. As long as you agree, I will immediately pay them double the penalty. She thought she could still control me as she had 6 years ago. She thought money could solve everything. Fine. I walked up to her, until I was practically in her face, and said, word by word, you want me to go with you? Fine, kneel and beg me now. Who the hell do you think you are? How dare you ask President Liu to kneel? Liu Ruxue raised a hand to stop him. Her face went from white to livid, then from livid to red. Her beautiful eyes were filled with humiliation and disbelief. Lin Yan, must you humiliate me like this? Humiliate you? I gave a cold laugh. Compared to my 6 years in prison, compared to this ruined face of mine, compared to my Lin family's century-old reputation destroyed overnight, asking you to kneel once is hardly humiliation. I turned and picked up the sledgehammer from the ground, slung it over my shoulder, and headed toward the lonely 2-story building. Old Zhang, what are you standing there for? The owner says we are not demolishing it. We leave. But, little Lin, what about our money? Old Zhang looked torn. We do not want her money. I will cover the brothers' losses. The dozens of workers exchanged looks, then silently followed behind me. We were a ragged group of men, walking past that gleaming Rolls-Royce, like defeated soldiers. Lin Yan, stop. Do you think you are in any position to make demands of me now? What do you have besides brute strength? Believe it or not, with one word from me, you will never get another job in the capital. I stopped walking, but did not turn around. Liu Ruxue, you can try. My life is worthless anyway. A man with nothing left has nothing to fear from someone like you. With that, I led the men around the corner and disappeared. Back at our rented work shed, the atmosphere was deathly silent. Old Zhang squatted on the ground, smoking with a worried frown. Little Lin, what do we do now? That was a 2 million job. The brothers were counting on that money to send back to their families. I dragged a battered wooden chest from beneath the bed. From it, I took out a bank card. There is 300,000 on it. It is everything I have saved these past few years. The password is 6/8. Old Zhang, take it. Pay the brothers this month's wages. Let the rest serve as compensation. How can we accept this? This is your hard-earned money. We cannot take it. Take it. This happened because of me. I cannot let the brothers suffer for it. This 300,000 was earned after my release. I worked myself to the bone at construction sites, day and night for it. I had planned to use it to open a little shop back home and live out the rest of my life in peace. But Liu Ruxue's appearance shattered all my plans. She and Chen now stand so high, while I am drowning in the mud. I could not accept it. Why should those who did wrong live in glory, while the innocent must live like ants beneath their feet? Old Zhang tried to say more, but I patted his shoulder. Do not worry. There is always a way forward. We will find work. After sending Old Zhang away, I sat alone in the work shed, watching the sky outside slowly darken. My phone vibrated. It was a text from an unknown number. Guanlin Club, the capital's most exclusive private club. Before I ever set foot inside, I had heard it was a place where money vanished like water. I gave a cold laugh and deleted the text. But the moment I set down my phone, it rang. It was the same number. I hung up immediately, but the caller would not give up, calling again and again. Are you done yet? Lin Yan, let's talk. Please. I am begging you. There was a trace of pleading in her voice. Something stirred inside me. Against my better judgment, I said, fine. After hanging up, I looked at the scarred, twisted face in the mirror and gave a self-mocking smile. Lin Yan, you really are pathetic. One word from her, and you wavered. I dug out a fairly clean old shirt from the bottom of the chest, put it on, and washed my face. I smoothed down my hair with water. Even if I was meeting an enemy, I could not look completely destitute. At 8 that evening, I arrived at Guanlin Club on time. The guard saw me in my cheap street market clothes and held out an arm to stop me. Sir, this is a private club. Please show your membership card. I am here to see someone. Who are you here to see? Do you have an appointment? The guard's eyes were full of contempt. I gave Liu Ruxue's name. The guard froze for a moment, then used his radio to confirm it. His attitude changed completely at once. He respectfully opened the door for me. Mr. Lin. This way, please. President Li was waiting for you in the clear breeze room on the 3rd floor. That was how brutally practical the world of money was. I followed an attendant through the lavish, glittering lobby, then climbed stairs covered in expensive carpet. I pushed open the door to the clear breeze room. Liu Ruxue sat before the enormous floor-to-ceiling window. You're here. She rose when she saw me. She forced a faint smile. Say what you came to say. Spit it out. I am in a hurry. Liu Ruxue's smile froze. She took a deep breath and sat back down. She personally poured me a glass of red wine. Lin Yan, I know you hate me. I was wrong about what happened back then. I apologize. I will drink a glass as punishment. With that, she drained the glass. I watched her coldly, unmoved. If apologies fixed everything, what would we need prisons for? I know nothing I say can make up for it. But please, hear me out. Back then, I had no choice either. The studio's funding had dried up. Every partner was demanding payment. If we had not found a solution quickly, the studio would have gone bankrupt, and we would have been crushed by enormous debt. So you watched them make me the scapegoat. Liu Ruxue, you really are a fine businesswoman. No, it was Chen. Chen told me he had found a new investor. But their condition was that you had to leave temporarily. Temporarily leave. I repeated those words, and laughed. 6 years, and you call that temporary? I never thought you would be sentenced so harshly. I thought it would be 1 or 2 years at most. Stop acting, Liu Ruxue. Do you really think I would still believe you? I stood up, ready to leave. Do not go. Liu Ruxue grabbed my hand. Her hand was ice-cold. Lin Yan, give me one more chance. Come back to me. I will give you half the shares in Shanghua Group. We can start over. Please. Her words were like a needle, driving deep into my heart. I threw off her hand, with enough force to send her stumbling into the corner of the table. She let out a muffled groan. Liu Ruxue, drop that sickening act. What do you think I am? A dog you can summon and dismiss whenever you please. I pointed toward the door and said, word by word, the moment you chose to believe Chen and abandon me, all that remained between us was hatred. Just then, the private room's door opened. A man in a white suit, putting on the airs of a gentleman, walked in. He paused when he saw Liu Ruxue and me, then put on a fake smile. Senior brother, when did you get out? Why did you not tell us? Chen looked even more smug and self-satisfied than he had 6 years ago. The Patek Philippe on his wrist was worth at least 7 figures, but that watch should have been on my wrist. It was the heirloom my father left me. I stared at the watch on Chen's wrist, and my eyes instantly reddened. My father had designed it for me himself, the only one in the world. When my family went bankrupt, everything was sold off. Only this watch had I fought desperately to keep. Later, I gave it to Liu Ruxue. As a token of our love, I told her that seeing the watch was like seeing me. No matter where I was, it would keep her company in my place. Yet now, Chen was wearing it. Chen, I forced his name through clenched teeth. Senior brother. What is with that look? It has been a long time, senior brother. You cannot be that unhappy to see me, can you? Chen walked over with a smile, and casually wrapped an arm round Liu Ruxue's waist. Liu Ruxue's body visibly stiffened. She pulled free from his hold, her expression uneasy. Chen, why are you here? I heard you were here discussing business, so I came to check on you. Chen's gaze swept over me, finally settling on the scar on my face. A flicker of satisfaction crossed his eyes. Oh, senior brother, what happened to your face? Prison must have been rough on you. Then again, you are far too stubborn. You must have offended someone. He let out a theatrical sigh. I told you long ago. You need to be more tactful. Look what you have become. But it is all right. From now on, Zhuer and I will watch your back. You will live like a king. That patronizing look on his face made my stomach churn. Give me back my father's watch. Chen paused. Then he looked down at his wrist. Understanding dawned on him. Oh, you mean this? Zhuer gave it to me for my birthday. What, senior brother? You like it? Wanting it will not help. It is a token of Zhuer's affection. Liu Ruxue went even paler. She looked at me, her lips moving, as if she wanted to explain. Liu Ruxue, you gave it to him. Liu Ruxue avoided my eyes and lowered her head. So, what if she did? Zhuer is my woman now. What is hers is mine. Senior brother, you are an ex-convict. Do not covet what is not yours. The words ex-convict were a poisoned blade, driven viciously into my heart. I could not hold back any longer. I charged at him and slammed my fist into Gu Chen's face. Lin Yan, are you insane? Liu Ruxue screamed and rushed over, throwing herself in front of Gu Chen. She stared at me in terror. She looked at me as if I were a madman out of control. My heart went completely cold. 6 years ago, she was exactly the same. She stood by and watched everyone condemn me, without lifting a finger. 6 years later, she still did not hesitate to stand against me. Zuer, move aside. This lunatic. I am teaching him a lesson today. Nobody move. She turned to face me, her eyes brimming with tears. Lin Yan, you hit him. You should have vented your anger by now. I am begging you. Leave the capital. Never come back. Liu Ruxue took a check from her bag, quickly wrote a figure on it, and shoved it into my hand. It is a check for 10 million yuan, enough to let you live comfortably for the rest of your life. Take it and go as far away as you can. What a grand gesture. She wanted to use money to erase our past, to buy herself a clear conscience. I laughed, right in front of him. I tore the check into tiny pieces, bit by bit. Liu Ruxue, remember this, what he owes me, I will reclaim sooner or later, and I will not spare a single thing that is yours. With that, I walked out of the private room without looking back. Behind me came Gu Chen's furious curses, and Liu Ruxue's muffled sobs. Once I left Guanlin Club, the cold wind outside hit me, and only then did I feel the burning pain in my hand. I had put everything into that punch. The skin on my knuckles had split, yet I had never felt such satisfaction. Lin Yan, from this day forward, you are no longer that worthless man others can trample on. What they owe you, you will reclaim, debt by debt with interest. I wandered the streets aimlessly, not knowing where to go. I could not return to the workers' shack. With Liu Ruxue's influence, finding it would be effortless. I could not drag old Zhang and the others into this. As I looked around in confusion, an unremarkable black honky sedan slowly pulled up beside me. Shaolin. I froze. It was Elder Fang, Fang Zhengwo, a leading national expert in ancient architecture. Back then, when everyone condemned me, he was the only one who stepped forward to speak for me. Unfortunately, no one believed him. Why you? Why are you here? I was excited, but also embarrassed. Get in. We'll talk. I saw everything at the club entrance. I lowered my head, not knowing what to say. You have been wronged, have you not? Elder Fang patted my shoulder and sighed. Back then, I was not capable enough. I could not protect you. No, Elder Fang, it was not your fault. My nose stung, and tears nearly fell. After everything happened, everyone avoided me like the plague. Only he was still willing to believe me. What are your plans now? I have not decided yet. If you have nowhere to go, come stay with me for now. I have an old friend who recently acquired a treasure. He wants an expert to appraise it. I think you are the only one for the job. Elder Fang's old friend was surnamed Qin. His name was Qin Haitian. He was a renowned collector in the capital. The Qin residence stood in an old alley within the second ring road. When I followed Elder Fang inside, Qin Haitian was wearing reading glasses and holding a magnifying glass, frowning at something on the stone table in the courtyard. It was a carved red sandalwood brush holder, decorated with 100 birds paying homage to a phoenix. Its craftsmanship was intricate and exquisite, but a long crack ran down its center, nearly splitting the holder in two. Old Fang, you are finally here. When Qin Haitian saw Elder Fang, he looked as though he had seen a savior. Quick, take a look for me. Can my treasure still be saved? But Elder Fang's gaze fell on me. Smiling, he said to Qin Haitian, I brought you a true master today. This is Lin Yan, the grandson of Master Lin Jin. At the mention of my grandfather's name, Qin Haitian's eyes lit up. Master Lin Qian's grandson? I have heard of you. So young. Yet your Mortiz and Tenon skills are said to be unparalleled. What a pity about what happened 6 years ago. He did not finish the thought, but his meaning was obvious. The past is best left unmentioned. Mr. Qin, may I examine it? Qin Haitian hesitated, but eventually nodded. I stepped forward, rather than touch the brush holder immediately. I circled it 3 times, studying it closely from every angle. Then I reached out and gently ran my fingertips from the top of the crack all the way to the bottom. This brush holder dates to the mid-Qing dynasty. It is made from premium small-leaf red sandalwood. The carving follows the Suzhou style, delicate and flowing. It was likely crafted by a master. Unfortunately, it was poorly maintained. The stress within the wood was never released, and the dry climate caused it to crack. Qin Haitian and Elder Fang exchanged a glance. Each saw surprise in the other's eyes. Young man, you have a keen eye. I had several craftsmen inspect it. They said much the same as you, but they all said the crack was too large. It cannot be repaired. Even if it were forcibly glued together, it would leave an ugly scar. The piece would be ruined. They may not be able to repair it, but that does not mean I cannot. Qin Haitian was intrigued. What is your method? Mend wood with wood, leaving no trace. It is an ancient restoration technique called wood matching. It is 100 times harder than repairing porcelain. Wood has its own grain and character. You must find wood that fits the original perfectly, then inlay it with the utmost precision, without leaving the slightest mark. It requires exceptional skill and experience. That craft was lost long ago. You know how to mend wood. It was my grandfather's unique skill. He taught it only to me. Good, excellent. Qin Haitian slapped his thigh excitedly. Master Lin, as long as you can repair it, name your price. I do not want a cent. Qin Haitian froze. Then, what do you want? I need you to do me a favor. I want the property owned by Huaxia Group, the abandoned construction site in East City. Both Qin Haitian and Elder Fang were stunned. What do you want that land for? It is in the middle of nowhere, with no development value. I have my reasons. I did not explain further. That land was once the site of my family's ancestral home. After my parents died in an accident, my grandfather was overcome with grief and became bedridden. Ruxue took advantage of his weakness. She deceived my seriously ill grandfather into selling, at a rock-bottom price, the land and the old house on it were all sold to her company. Before my grandfather died, he kept holding my hand, murmuring that he wanted to go home. I have to reclaim the Lin family's roots. Qin Haitian pondered for a moment. Huaxia Group belongs to that Liu girl, does it not? She is not someone to be trifled with these days. But do not worry. As long as you repair my treasure, I guarantee I will get that land for you. It is a deal. For the next 3 days, I shut myself inside the workshop Qin Haitian had prepared for me. First, I soaked the brush holder in a special solution, softening the wood fibers again. Then, from Qin Haitian's treasured wood collection, I found a piece matching its color, grain, and age. A piece of small leaf red sandalwood that closely matched the brush holder. The crucial step began. I picked up my carving knife, holding my breath, my eyes fixed on the crack. My hand was steady as stone. The blade glided over the wood, making a faint scraping sound. Wood shavings fluttered through the air. Fine beads of sweat formed on my forehead. I was not merely restoring an object. I was reclaiming myself, reclaiming the man who once stood at the top of his field. The bold, confident Lin Yan. 3 days later, when I opened the workshop door, Qin Haitian and Elder Fang immediately rushed over. Well, how did it go? I said nothing. I simply handed over the brush holder. Qin Haitian took it with trembling hands, put on his reading glasses, and examined it inch by inch with his magnifying glass. He studied it for a full 10 minutes. Only then did he lower the magnifying glass and let out a long breath. His face was filled with disbelieving joy. Flawless. It is truly flawless. If I had not seen it with my own eyes, I would never believe it had been repaired. Master Lin, you are incredible. You have brought the Lin family's craft back to life. I smiled. At last, the weight in my heart was lifted. Mr. Qin, what about our agreement? Do not worry. Within 3 days, I will personally deliver the deed to that land. Qin Haitian worked quickly. 2 days later, a contract bearing my name for the transfer of land ownership was placed before me. Lin, this land is yours now. That Liu girl refused at first. I merely told her that if she did not transfer it, none of her company's projects in the second half of the year would get a single cent in bank loans. I knew full well Qin Haitian's influence in the capital went far beyond that. Mr. Qin, I cannot thank you enough. I gave him a solemn bow. Hey, what are you doing? You have cured the worry that plagued me. What is this small favor compared to that? If you need anything in the future, just say the word. After seeing Qin Haitian off, I took the contract back to the construction site on the city's east side. It was still a field of ruins. The little 2-story house stood there all alone. The rooms were covered in dust, but I could still faintly see how they had once looked. A family portrait from my childhood hung on the wall. The photograph had yellowed, but in it, Grandpa, Dad, Mom, and I were all smiling so happily. I reached out and gently brushed away the dust. Grandpa, Dad, Mom, I am home. How much humiliation I endured over those 6 years. How much suffering I bore. Only I knew. But at that moment, standing on this land that belonged to me, I felt it had all been worth it. I moved in. During the day, I cleared the ruins, sorting the usable bricks, tiles, and timber into neat piles by type. At night, I studied the blueprints Grandpa left behind inside the house, researching the lost crafts of the Lin family. My days were peaceful and fulfilling, as if I had returned to childhood. When I followed Grandpa everywhere as he taught me his craft, I thought Ruxue would not come bother me again. That afternoon, I was chopping firewood in the yard when a familiar Rolls-Royce pulled up outside again. Ruxue got out of the car. She looked haggard, with deep dark circles beneath her eyes. She froze when she saw me, then hurried over. Lin Yan, did you really buy this land? Is there a problem? Where did you get the money? That does not seem to concern you, President Liu. My retort left Ruxue speechless. She looked around the yard, her gaze settling on the woodworking shed I was building. You are going to live here permanently. This is my home. If I do not live here, where else would I live? Lin Yan, stop lying to yourself. This place is a dump. Look at what you have become. Have you forgotten who you used to be? You are Master Lin Qian's grandson. You are a genius in historic architecture restoration. You should not be chopping firewood here. You should not be living like this. How I choose to live is none of your business. Ruxue, did you come here today just to spout this nonsense? I came to see you. To see whether I was dead. No. I was worried about you. Lin Yan, listen to me. Chen, he is not a good man. Stay away from him. It was the funniest joke I had ever heard. So now you know he is not a good man. Who was it that sent me to prison for his sake? I truly did not know he would be so ruthless. I thought he only wanted you to lie low for a while. I did not know he had fabricated all the evidence and framed you. Enough, Ruxue. Leave. There is nothing left to say between us. I turned to go inside, but Ruxue suddenly hugged me from behind. Her body was trembling. Scalding tears soaked the back of my shirt. Lin Yan, I am sorry. I am truly sorry. Please come back. Let us start over. I will give the company back to you. I do not want anything. I only want you. Her sobs were so mournful, so desperate. For one fleeting moment, I nearly gave in, but the scar on my face seemed to come alive, beginning to throb faintly. It reminded me of 6 years of humiliation and pain. I peeled her fingers away, one by one. Ruxue, it is too late. I pushed her away and shut the door behind me, severing the last possibility between us. Her heartbroken cries echoed outside the door. I leaned against the door and slowly slid to the floor, tears streaming down my face. Ruxue, do you know, I once truly saw you as the light in my life, but you extinguished that light with your own hands. I thought Ruxue would give up after that, but I underestimated her persistence. From that day on, she came almost every day. Sometimes she drove her luxury car. Other times, she took a cab. She stopped asking me to go back with her. She simply stood silently nearby while I worked, watching from the side. When I chopped wood, she watched. When I sorted timber, she watched that too. At meal times, she would take an insulated food container from her car. Inside were meals prepared by a 5-star hotel chef. I never touched them. I ate my steamed buns and pickles, while she set the food aside and quietly took it away once it had gone cold. The workers who had once been at the site somehow heard what had happened and gradually returned. Lin, we heard everything. We are sorry. We wrongly blamed you before. It is in the past. I patted his shoulder. Are you still willing to come back and help me? Of course we are. Lin, you have always stood by us. We are not the kind of people who repay kindness with ingratitude. Tell us what you want to do. We will follow your lead. All right. Then we will rebuild this place together. I am going to rebuild the Lin family home, using the most traditional, authentic Lin family craftsmanship. I will show everyone that I, Lin Yan, have not fallen, and that the Lin family's craft has not been lost. Somehow, the news spread. Soon, the capital's architecture and collector circles all turned their eyes to the East City district, to that unremarkable stretch of ruins. Some mocked me for overestimating myself. A former convict wanted to revive the Lin family's lost arts. What a ridiculous fantasy. Others waited to see me make a fool of myself, eager to see what I could possibly make in the end. Most merely watched with curiosity and caution. The one who could not sit still was Chen. He came to the construction site himself. That day, he arrived in a flashy red Ferrari, parking before my newly built woodworking shed. Senior brother, I heard you are rebuilding the Lin family home. Where did you get such confidence? I do not need to prove my confidence to you. Heh. On the 18th of next month, the Light of Huaxia Cultural Center, whose design I spearheaded, will hold its unveiling ceremony. By then, a senior official from the Ministry of Culture, along with the foremost architects from home and abroad, will all be there. I specially reserved a place for you, so you can come and see what real architectural art looks like, and so you can see how I turn the Lin family's legacy into something that belongs to me. Chen. Oh, right? I forgot to tell you. The inspiration for Light of Huaxia came from that Sky Pavilion sketch you drew years ago. What do you think people would say if they knew? You are shameless. Takes one to know one. Senior brother, I will be waiting for you. Do not disappoint me. I stared at the invitation on the ground, shaking with rage. He had stolen not only the woman I loved, but also my career, my reputation. Now he was going to steal the work I was proudest of, then stand beneath the spotlight and bask in everyone's adulation, while I could only watch from below like a clown. No, I could not let him succeed. I picked up the invitation, crushing it in my fist. Chen, on the 18th of next month, I will not only be there, I will see you utterly disgraced. Over the next month, I drove myself to the limit. By day, I led the crew laying foundations and raising beams and pillars. At night, I drew plans until dawn and built models. I was not merely restoring the Lin family home. Beside the old house, I would build a real Sky Pavilion. I would prove to everyone who was the true creator and who was the despicable thief. Ruxue still came every day. She watched me grow thinner by the day, my eyes sunken. Several times she wanted to urge me to stop, but when she saw my bloodshot eyes burning with fire, she swallowed the words. Instead, she silently replaced my 3 daily meals with restorative herbal soups, setting them at my side. Sometimes I was too busy to remember, so she waited until late at night, leaving quietly only after she saw me drink. I did not know what she was feeling: guilt, a desire to make amends, or love, but I had no energy left to think about it. My mind held only blueprints, only more T's and tenon joints, only the pavilion soon to rise from the ground. Old Zhang and the others were frightened by my madness. Lin, take it easy. Your health is your foundation. Yes, you have not slept in 3 days. Even a man of iron could not take that. I shook my head, gulping down strong tea. I am fine. We do not have much time. Finally, the day before the unveiling ceremony, the main structure of my Sky Pavilion was complete. It was built entirely of wood, a miracle built without a single nail or metal fastener. Its upturned eaves soared, its interlocking brackets crisscrossed. Its levels rose one upon another, like a heavenly palace, floating in midair. Everyone who saw it was struck speechless. My God, can a person really build something like this? It is breathtaking. This is a miracle. Elder Fang and Qin Haitian came as well. The 2 well-traveled old men circled the pavilion, their eyes brimming with tears. The Lin family's lost arts finally have an heir. Elder Fang held my hand, trembling uncontrollably. I, Qin Haitian, have collected antiques my entire life. I thought I had seen every rare treasure under heaven. But today, I finally understand what a true national treasure is. I looked at the work born of my heart and soul, yet felt little joy, because I knew this was only the first step. The real show would begin tomorrow. I turned and saw Ruxue beyond the crowd. She just stared blankly at the pavilion. Her face held a tangled mix of shock, admiration, and pain. Our eyes met across the air. I read everything in her eyes. She knew Chen had stolen my work. She had known all along. It felt as if an invisible hand were squeezing my heart tight, hurting so badly I could not breathe. I looked away, never sparing her another glance. Ruxue, tomorrow you will watch with your own eyes the man you chose fall from heaven into hell. The unveiling ceremony for the Light of Huaxia Cultural Center was grander than anything before it. Dignitaries packed the venue inside and out. Reporters raised cameras with long lenses, ready to capture this historic moment. As chief designer, Chen stood confidently on stage, basking in everyone's attention and praise. The design of Light of Huaxia blends 5,000 years of Chinese architectural wisdom. Its bold use of mortise and tenon construction, in particular, has ushered in a new era. He spoke with endless eloquence, confidently holding court, passing off my design philosophy as his own inspiration. Thunderous applause erupted below. The cultural ministry officials in the front row kept nodding, their faces full of approval. Ruxue sat beside the officials, wearing a practiced smile, but her eyes kept drifting toward the entrance, as if she were looking for someone. Then I arrived. I wore no formal clothes, only faded work clothes washed nearly white. I did not wear a mask either. Under the venue's dazzling lights, the hideous scar on my face stood out with painful clarity. My arrival immediately caused a small commotion. Who is that? How did he get dressed like that? That scar on his face is terrifying. I know him. He is Lin Yan, the one from 6 years ago. Amid the whispers, Chen saw me from the stage. His face changed instantly, but he quickly regained his composure. A smug, cold smile even curled at his lips. He seemed to think I had come here only to humiliate myself. The host began introducing the next speaker. Please give a warm round of applause to Fang, the leading authority on ancient architecture in our country. Elder Fang, please come up and speak. Elder Fang rose, but did not head for the podium. Instead, he walked straight toward me. Before everyone, he took my hand. Lin, you came. The entire hall erupted in uproar. No one had expected the highly respected Elder Fang to know a former convict like me. Chen's face completely changed. Ruxue shot to her feet in shock. Elder Fang, what are you? The host was at a loss. Elder Fang ignored him. He took me by the hand and led me step by step onto the stage. He picked up the microphone. His voice rang out, reaching every corner of the hall. Distinguished guests, dear friends, before introducing Light of Huaxia today, I would like to show you something first. As he spoke, he pressed the button on his remote. The giant screen behind him lit up at once. What appeared on the screen was not the stunning concept art for Light of Huaxia, but a field of ruins. Above those ruins, an exquisitely crafted wooden pavilion rose from the earth. It was my sky pavilion. The footage was filmed from the air. The camera slowly moved closer, revealing every detail of the pavilion, clearly for all to see. Its breathtaking structure, its exquisitely intricate brackets, its flowing, graceful lines. The entire hall fell silent. Everyone was so stunned by the building on the screen that they lost their voices. Where is this? My God, is that a model or special effects? It looks so real. No, those are not special effects. An architect who knew his craft sprang to his feet. Look at those mortise and tenon joints. That is the 9 linked rings technique. It is the Lin family's lost art, vanished for 300 years. And that flying cloud roof, I have only seen its design in ancient texts. This is real. His words exploded through the crowd like a bomb. Everyone's eyes swung from the screen to me on stage. This pavilion is called the Sky Pavilion. It stands on the former site of the Lin family estate east of the city. Not a single nail or piece of steel was used. It was built entirely from over 10,000 mortise and tenon components. Its designer and builder is this young man beside me, Lin Yan, Master Lin Qian's own grandson. The moment he finished speaking, the entire hall erupted. Lin Yan, isn't he? Wasn't he imprisoned for cutting corners? How could he build something like this? How is that possible? My God, if this is real, then the case back then. On stage, Chen's face went white as paper. Cold sweat streamed down his temples. He tried to say something, but could not get out a single word. Ruxue stood frozen in place, looking at me on stage, then at the Sky Pavilion on the giant screen. At last, the tears in her eyes came pouring out. You must all be wondering why Lin Yan can build such a structure, yet was sent to prison 6 years ago for cutting corners. Elder Fang gave a cold laugh, his blade-sharp gaze fixed on Chen. Because the case back then was a carefully planned conspiracy from beginning to end. A despicable frame-up. He pressed the remote again. A video of a man appeared on the giant screen. He was the lumber supplier who had provided timber for the ancient tower. In the video, he confessed through tears. I am sorry, Master Lin. I was blinded by greed and took Chen's money. I used a batch of inferior lumber to replace the original golden thread Namu wood. Chen told me he only wanted to teach Master Lin a lesson. so he would not be so picky about taking projects. I never thought it would cause the tower to collapse and send Master Lin to prison for 6 years. I still have records of Gu Chen's transfers to me from back then, as well as recordings of our phone calls. I am willing to bear all legal responsibility. I only ask that Master Lin's name be cleared. The evidence was conclusive. The truth was finally revealed. It was as though someone had pressed pause on the entire hall. Everyone's stares became sharp as blades, piercing the wavering figure on stage. No, he is talking nonsense. He is lying. Gu Chen finally broke down. He screamed hysterically, looking utterly deranged. It is you, Lin Yan. You planned all of this. You want to destroy me. I looked at him coldly, as if he were nothing but a pathetic clown. Gu Chen, you stole my work, framed me and sent me to prison, stole the woman I loved, and ruined my life. Did you think you would get away with all of it? I walked toward him, one step at a time. Each step seemed to crush his heart beneath my foot. I told you, I will take everything you have. Now it is time for you to pay your debts. Security. Where is security? Throw him out. Gu Chen backed away in terror. His foot slipped, and he crashed to the floor in humiliation. But no security guard listened to him anymore. 2 uniformed police officers came on stage from backstage. They showed him an arrest warrant. Gu Chen, you are suspected of embezzlement, business fraud, and malicious false accusation. You need to come with us. Gu Chen collapsed completely onto the floor, his face ashen with despair. As the police hauled him up, he shot a venomous look at Liu Ruxue below the stage. Liu Ruxue, you bitch. You knew all along. Did you team up with him to set me up? If I suffer, do not expect to get off easy either. Do you all know? Back then, this woman watched Lin Yan be framed to save her company. She watched Lin Yan get framed with her own eyes. She knew everything. She was his accomplice too. Ha ha ha. Every camera instantly turned on Liu Ruxue. She stood there, her face even paler than Gu Chen's. Her body swayed unsteadily, as though she might collapse at any moment. She looked at me, her lips trembling. She seemed to want to say something, but I could not even be bothered to look at her. I picked up the microphone and solemnly announced to the media below, from today on, I, Lin Yan, will rebuild the Lin family's Qianggong workshop. Everything produced by my Qianggong workshop will be a masterpiece for the ages. Thunderous applause erupted below the stage. It went on and on. I knew that from that moment on, I, Lin Yan, was back, and the era that belonged to me had returned. The unveiling ceremony ended in a way no one expected, with a dramatic finale. Gu Chen was led away in handcuffs. The full force of the law awaited him. Shenghua Group's stock price plummeted. As president, Liu Ruxue was caught in a storm of public outrage. She was overwhelmed and at her wits' end. As for me, Lin Yan, overnight, I went from a despised ex-convict back to the master craftsman admired by the entire nation. My sky pavilion became the capital's newest landmark. Countless people came to see it, marveling at its breathtaking craftsmanship. My Qianggong workshop was flooded with orders. From private estate designs to antique restoration, we did it all. Qin Haitian and Elder Fang treasured me like a rare gem, introducing me to valuable contacts and resources. Everything seemed to be heading in the best possible direction. I was busy every day, drawing plans, meeting clients, and directing construction crews. I thought I could finally forget Liu Ruxue and leave that painful past behind, until late one night, when I left the workshop and saw a familiar figure curled up on the steps outside my home. It was Liu Ruxue. She wore thin clothes, shivering in the late autumn night wind. More than 10 empty bottles lay before her. Hearing my footsteps, she looked up. Her pretty face was flush red from alcohol, her eyes unfocused. Lin Yan, you are back. I frowned, wanting to walk around her and go inside, but she suddenly lunged at me, wrapping her arms tightly round my waist from behind. Do not go. Please, do not leave me. The scent of alcohol mixed with her expensive perfume, creating a strange smell that filled my nostrils. Let go. I won't. She buried her face against my back. Her scorching tears soaked my clothes again. Lin Yan, I know I was wrong. I truly know I was wrong. Can you forgive me? Give me one more chance. A chance. I gave a cold laugh and pried her hands off me. Liu Ruxue, I gave you chances. When you watched the police take me away, when you and Gu Chen took over my company, when you gave my watch to someone else, I gave you countless chances. But you threw every one of them away, again and again. No, it was not like that. She shook her head through tears. Back then, the company truly could not survive any longer. Chen said he could bring in investors, but only if I divorced you and got together with him. I truly had no choice. So you chose the company. You chose money and abandoned me. I looked at her, without a trace of warmth in my eyes. Ruxue, you are a capable businesswoman, but you were never a good wife. I am sorry. I am sorry. Those were the only words she could repeat, sobbing so hard she could barely breathe. Lin Yan, I know I deserve to die for what I did. I am not asking you to come back to me. I only ask that you let me see you. Let me stay by your side. I will do anything. I will work myself to the bone for you. As she spoke, she actually tried to kneel before me. I jolted in alarm and instinctively caught her. Her body was burning hot. She went limp and collapsed into my arms. Only then did I realize she had a fever. I sighed. In the end, I could not bring myself to be completely heartless. I lifted her into my arms and carried her back to her car. She was already dead drunk and unconscious, still murmuring my name over and over. I looked at her weary face as she slept. My heart a tangled mess of emotions. Did I hate her? Of course I did. But beneath that hatred, something else seemed buried there. Something even I did not dare to touch. I hired a driver to take her home and gave the driver her address. I watched her car vanish into the night, then turned and went inside. I shut the door. Let this be the end. Ruxue, we should have ended this long ago. I thought that would be the last time we ever met. But the next day, a call from Extinguishes once again tangled our fates together. Lin Yan, something has happened. Extinguishes sounded frantic. That girl from the Liu family tried to kill herself. My head buzzed, and my mind went blank. Which hospital? By the time I came to my senses, I had already rushed out of the house, started the car, and floored the accelerator. Ruxue, you fool. Do you think dying will atone for your sins? Do you think if you die, everything between us will be over? Let me tell you, it will not be that easy. What you owe me, you will repay in this life and the next. Just wait for me. I will be there soon. You are absolutely not